OK. I have a session on how crypto AI will defeat big tech. That's the clickbait title. Of course, the story is much more complicated, which is what you saw in the panel before. Because it's not really about defeating anything. It's about figuring out a way to be relevant. And I think more and more increasingly, it's just a way for crypto to figure out how to even stay around. It's like an existential question, more so than a how do we win question. But I want to introduce kind of a framework that we've been working on at Generative Ventures. Generative Ventures is an investor in the machine economy, so crypto AI, DeepIn, and these more frontier themes for our industry, and how our framework has evolved over the last year. Because last year I did this presentation kind of introducing the ideas, and things have moved a little bit, I think. So first we can just frame the story that you're probably hearing all the time about this industry. So by a show of hands, how many people have followed crypto AI or done anything in this space for a while? OK, so like 50%, great. How many use ChatGPT? OK, so like 80%, right? So probably have a big overlap of people who know that big tech is doing really well. The models are better than ever. They're asymptotic with human performance. They're better than you at everything that you do. They're just not connected yet. And then number two, they're starting to make money. So crypto has this issue of are we all making money or not? Is it a real business? In AI, people are making money. There's multiple multi-billion-dollar revenue entities, right? Whether it's big tech or whether it's new companies, from OpenAI to Anthropic to Character AI to the coding platforms. Cursor's running at 100 million. They're doing things that people actually want. These are not just hypothetical tech plays. And of course, we in crypto will start complaining. We'll say, these are closed source models. We need open source models. They're taking our private data. We want to be paid for data. We want data sovereignty. Or they're stealing intellectual property, right? So OpenAI breaking New York Times, then DeepSeek breaking OpenAI, and so on and so forth. It's at the root of it. The value capture of big tech and the fact that they make me watch Instagram reels, and now I'm addicted to bodybuilding videos. It's a bit too much of a disclosure. So the algorithm taking control over what it is that I'm thinking. Or they'll never work with crypto, they'll just use Stripe. So people are complaining about all these things, and theoretically there are answers in Web3 for all of these ideas, and largely this is what Web3 or crypto AI has been, right? Decentralized AI has largely been this. So we go from the Web2 world of compute leading to models, leading to capabilities, leading to distribution, and then from there, we go into the Web3 world, which is deep-in compute, decentralized models, decentralized capabilities, inference networks, TE, decentralized distribution, right? So it looks the same, because we're just trying to do the same thing. If I break this down a little bit more for you, in Web2, you have companies like Lambda or CoreWeave. These are $10 billion companies. They are real. They have real data centers. They do stuff. They're not, vaporware equity. In Web3, we've got ours too, right? These are our champions: Exhibits, Akash, Render, IO, lots of stuff. Exo earlier today, we spoke to them. Really great company. And then we'll say, OK, well, these models from OpenAI or Anthropic, or this data training thing at scale, or all of that is captured by centralized tech entities, and this is bad. So we're going to build our own. We're going to build our own data collection like Vano. We're going to build the Grass network to scrape the internet. We're going to build Fraction AI to do labels, things like that, right? So we're just going to do the same thing, but different. Capabilities. Big tech is really good at text generation, at video generation, at music generation, at image generation. And so let's do that in Web3 as well. We'll have our own Prime Intellect. We'll have our own Morpheus. Now that DeepSeek is open source, we'll put that on chain, right? Like we'll just same stuff, but it's ours. And then verification, we'll make it private. We'll make it extra hard to use and expensive, but it will be private. It will be so private that nobody will use it. That is the biggest privacy is 0 users. No privacy breach there. Everyone's like, serious? That's a joke? It's also true. And then after that, we're going to have distribution, right? Like in the old world, is just Zuckerberg with Facebook or Musk shoving Grok into Twitter, and that's their distribution. And then for us, we're going to have AI agents. So we talked about Cookie DAO, and then we've got virtuals, and a whole bunch of other sort of crypto-native distribution mechanisms. So we don't need the old world. We'll build our own Stripe. We'll build our own tooling and developer orchestration, like DeFi orchestration platforms and developer tools and all this stuff. We'll code smart contracts instead of regular code, and it will be amazing. So that's crypto AI. That's like what most people think it is. And so the question is this working? Like, is it really, really good? Like, are we doing a fantastic job? Right? So this is an index, performance index that we put together. And it's sort of from the start of the industry. And from like here to here, there's the boom around March. That's when BitTensor and OLAS got really big. That's also when Martin Shkreli called out IONET for having fake servers. And then around December of last year, people were like, we're going to distribute all this stuff through AI agents. And we had the boom in virtuals and things associated with that, AI XBT. And of course, that has petered out as well, right? So on the one hand, it's nice. You've got charts that are showing things can go up 50x. On the other hand, remember that most of us are probably entering these trades when things are going down, because that's when we've learned about them, not when things are going up. And so if we zoom out from that, and we compare it to big Western AI, and then obviously big Eastern Chinese AI, because we've got DeepSeek and increased relevance of that sector, we can plot the performance of these things relative to each other, right? So it all depends how you zoom out, but largely speaking, like Western AI is just doing well. It's a pretty straight line up. Eastern AI is up and down, largely because of geopolitical tension. And you can see here, for example, this is the DeepSeek moment, right? Like when people discovered again that China exists and maybe we should invest in it. And decentralized AI, on the other hand, is this huge, just speculative boom and bust, right? So you've got those 2 peaks that I talked about. DeepSeek, which should have made everything so much better for us because it's basically free intelligence that we could have never produced, given to us on a silver platter, has instead led to a complete decline over the last, 80% decline over the last month and a half. So what's going on? What's going on is that we're making the same mistake as an industry, and this is where kind of I get into the personal view. Because again, I think what people are doing is hard and fantastic and really important to encourage the entrepreneurs. But we also want to point people in a direction that says, like, don't waste your time. Do the thing that actually will persist instead of be driven only by speculative flows. So we think we're in a place that's the same mistake, but it's a different year. How many of you had like FriendTech, participated in FriendTech or BitClout? It's hard to express my emotions about the genius of BitClout. Anyway, it's the same idea. You start with money, and then you end with nothing. That's largely the business model of crypto social networks. It doesn't work. You can't remake a Web 2 product better with Web 3 because it's a Web 2 product. Like just attaching capital markets to Twitter doesn't make Twitter a better social network. This goes back to EOS, for those of you who've been around for a while. When EOS stole $4 billion from the industry, they invested it largely in a Facebook clone whose main distinction was that it was red and had tokens on it, right? TikTok ended up winning. not voice, which was the Aos Facebook clone. And so we continue to remake Web 2 stuff with Web 3 without understanding that it's the Web 2 features that matter, not the Web 3 features for these things. You look at GameFi. I mean, you have lots of talented companies doing really hard stuff. I think Axie, super innovative. This is just Immutable and Ronin. You know, you basically have the same story, which is a lot of struggle to get through to any sort of industry progress. And so, you know, in terms of where, like, this is just bad news. What is the good news? And I think the good news, and this is in danger of pitching kind of what we think, is figuring out where is the economic activity going to come from on chain, and then figuring out what role it is that we can play, right? So we know that crypto is good at financial systems, and then we know that AI is a source of labor. It's a source of productivity. So yes, there's all the tech that it does, but end of the day, what does AI do? I'm sorry, I'm a former banker. I hate it too. That is why I still put up McKinsey slides in conferences. So McKinsey's one story about AI is called 6 trillion of GDP growth. Right? Like, if you step away from the science fiction bullshit about being uploaded to Mars in the metaverse, which will be fantastic when we do it, and we'll all trade it down to zero, the main thing about AI is that it is GDP growth, which means it creates useful things. People are willing to pay for it. That's consumer surplus. When you buy a sandwich from me, it costs me less to make the sandwich than what you pay me. I've created a little bit of consumer surplus. We all win, right? That's economic activity. So AI generates 6 trillion of that. At the same time, we've got robot money. Robot money is crypto. It's machine money. It takes all asset classes and it puts them in the same place. And we know these things are true. We know that there's at least 3 trillion of value of robot money, and we know there's 6 trillion of GDP coming. And we know that inside of our nice robot money world, we've got 200 billion of stablecoins, and we've got about 20 billion or so in private credit. You know, and there's a bunch of underwriting in DeFi. I'm not going to pull it all out. There's a ton of transaction and swaps and all these things and payments that are going on. So we know this stuff is real. There is a financial industry. We know that people are making money on chain, right? These are application revenues. You can decide whether or not you want to count Solana. That's up to you. We all have different religions, and that's OK. But there is real financial revenue generation, right? So in the old world, this would be payment processing. It would be core banking services. It would be portfolio management. All of that exists. And so let's land where we are. I mean, I don't have an actual answer. This is just my best guess. The first thing, what everyone's been doing, is trying to rebuild AI primitives that already work well. I don't see a ton of evidence that this is like super duper good. I mean, it's a great experiment, and we should definitely try it. But largely what we've seen as a result today, and I hate it that that's the result, is speculation without product market fit. And you can say speculation's good. It's going to be the capital source for building new businesses in the future. And we can all have feelings about it. But end of the day, that's where we are. Number two is using AI as a distribution platform for crypto products. I just want to talk to my wallet. I want to ask, you know, my Amazon Alexa to go trade the trending meme coins and so on. And that's interesting and good. I think that's going to be a big platform shift. But largely what that is doing is it is replacing the distribution mechanism of mobile or web with voice. How many people have a Coinbase account or a Binance account? OK, now you have a Binance robot account. You talk to the robot instead of going to the web or to the mobile app. You have not done anything to big tech. You've just paid them for their conversational interface. That's it. So the only thing that I see and the thing that I'm excited about is this last bit. And this last bit is crypto's robot money. It is the financial system that is modern, that is machine scale. And how do we figure out where we can attach that to the economic activity that the robots create. Thank you very much.